And then just continue forward, because I'm basically trying to show the future.
Okay.
Continue going forward.
And at this
so what
point,
happens if you were to complete everything you're trying to do?
If you were to complete it, they would fall to the ground dead, devoid of water, and their souls would have been ripped out and joined into the performance as part of the light show.
And then what would end up happening, you will fast forward through the vision probably over the next couple of months, where you will see the storyteller again weaving this story, and he will probably say the story about once upon a time there were these 4 agents, and then you'll see the face of Michael, like with down to the last detail in like silhouette form, in a neon form, a very beautiful maiden, and you'll see again Celeste, and then you'll see Vienno, and then the 4th one as well. And again, it's going to be one of those things where he's telling the story of the agents, how they're going around looking for all these fantastical beings and creatures, and they've went on all these adventures, and he would make them talk. He would like have his hands, and Michael would start talking, and Celeste would start talking, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then something about, I will teach you about Lovecraft later, Michael. Oh, I would love for you to teach me about Lovecraft later.
Oh. Alright, so that's everything that Felix sees, right?
I mean, I can continue if you like. I can keep going.
I think
You're a big hunk of a man.
Meanwhile, you see Vienno with like his owl, and going talking in Finnish. He's like, I need to find another ring. Okay, finish.
Felix, seeing all this, is going to run right back.
Okay.
Burst open, and he's going to fire Stupefy right at him.
Okay. While this is happening, I would like for the other 3 to roll me stamina rolls, please. Stamina rolls, please.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Vampires can't die of dehydration.
It's okay. I think that I think the dehydration itself isn't what's actually killing you.
Okay.
It's probably the snapping of your soul.
Yeah.
Okay. Vampires have a soul, that's what.
So vampires do have a soul. Some people don't believe they do.
This is not good at all.
Oh boy.
My stamina is +0.
Okay. What did Celeste get? I saw your reaction.
I got double 6s.
Oh, nice. Okay.
+3.
Okay. What is Vienno's?
Oh.
4? Oh, Michael's?
16 total.
Nice. Okay.
Vienno is not built to stand up, being able to hold his own.
Okay. So Vienno is actually so. This actually is very fitting. He seems so enthralled, so enlightened by this story that he seems to be growing deeper and deeper and deeper, and his body is starting to get very, very dehydrated and slightly desiccated by the time that Felix comes in, bursts open the door, and then you try to use a what spell?
Stupefy, the stunning spell.
Go ahead and roll, please.
Alright, no!
Oh no.
What did you get?
Double 1s.
No!
Oh,
No!
no! Okay, so you go and yell out Stupefy. Felix, unfortunately, there's a flashback of you back in school where you're trying to cast this spell with Miss Pickery, if you remember.
Yeah.
And it like backfires. And it backfires and it stuns you.
Oh.
It stuns you and you fall over the floor. What happens when you call out Stupefy? What happens when you see Felix come in and like his spell backfires on him and he stupefies himself, Jonathan?
At this point, if it had been any other certain event, he probably would have stopped the story, but at this point, he's looking at it, he's like, Well, I guess that problem took care of itself. And kind of continues going, but there is definitely a notable pause as he is stunned by the breaking in of the door. It'd probably be kind of distracting in terms of telling a story.
So am I knocked out, or...
You're stunned, so I'm gonna say that you can actually see what's happening, but you can't do anything.
Can I try and... Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but I would like to try and use the Taurus ring to undo what just happened.
I don't know if you can do that. However,
Did
you're
you
stunned.
use the ring? You could affect it to the ring.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I it's connected to my one, but I don't have to use connect. I don't have to have the holding for that.
Plus the Stupefy was from the ring that I made. Stupefy was the ring that I made for him. He could try to affect the ring. It's the Stupefy ring that it has with the Taurus ring. Try to affect.
He's stunned though, and the whole purpose of stunned is that you're stunned and you can't do anything.
fair.
That's the whole point.
So it wouldn't work.
So, I think that would be a little over. What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can Michael and I do anything, or are we still enthralled?
Because you are trusting of him, I'm gonna say that you're enthralled, unfortunately.
Oh.
Because you're so trusting of him, but it'll take a while. You are not gonna be in any danger for any time immediately. However, Vienno, who is completely like engulfed in this, go ahead, Michael.
Was I still trusting after Felix told me that he was lying?
I think that would probably tipped you off a little bit. So this was so here's what's gonna happen. Celeste rolled really high, so so her body is resistant, so nothing bad's gonna happen to her. But at the moment, she's still enthralled. Michael might be less enthralled. In fact, Michael, roll a will save. Roll a will save.
I've been waiting for you to ask me that. I have built my fucking
Remember, you have
character.
courage. Remember, you have courage.
Give us willpower.
On the corner of my sheet it says must have willpower.
yes. Roll your willpower save, Michael.
You learned so much from Andrea.
Yeah. Okay, that's double fives plus.
Ooh.
Nice.
Can I do the courage thing as well, or whatever it's called? What is?
Yeah, you can. Yes.
So what does that
Yes.
do?
That adds 3 points to your roll. That adds 3 points to your roll, and I think you can use up to 3 courage points.
All right, I'll use a courage point to make.
You can also you can decide to use a courage point after you roll if you want.
Oh yeah, I already rolled.
What is it?
So that's 17 total.
Okay. And you want to use 1 courage point to bring it up to a 20?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what. This is what's going to happen. So, you guys are enthralled. Felix come in. He stuns himself. He falls over. Because you guys are so enthralled, you don't necessarily notice Felix coming in and stupefying because you're just so enamored by what's happening. Because Felix told Michael that he's lying, he has a chance of breaking out of the trance. Before that happens, what visually happens, Jonathan, when you successfully snatch out somebody's soul and absorb it? What visually happens?
So,
just out of curiosity?
a blue orb of a suitable color, I would let them decide whatever color that would happen to be, would fly from their chest, and you'd grab it and incorporate it straight into the colors that he's painting the picture with.
Vienno, a ball of light snaps out of your chest. What color is it, just out of curiosity?
I would be sky blue.
Sky blue?
Yeah.
Okay, sky blue snaps out of your chest, and your face turns white, still frozen in a look of awe, like like I'm listening to this beautiful story, still in a look of awe, not necessarily of horror, and your body collapses to the ground as your very soul gets absorbed into the lights of this storyteller. And it's at that moment that Michael breaks out of his his trance. Just in time to see Vienno fall over and fall over to the ground and collapses. What do you do, Michael?
I reach for my gun.
Yes. Go ahead, play this out.
So I think, because were we sitting down or were we
I would assume
standing
we
up?
were sitting down at that point,
Okay.
but
Yeah. As you reach for your gun, just as an FYI, off the corner of your eye, you notice that Felix's wand had fallen out of his hand and rolled on the floor to your to your right foot.
Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna try and shoot him.
Ignore the wand, of course.
You're
No magic.
going to try to shoot him. Go ahead. Roll your attack roll. And Jonathan, you're going to see this guy pull out his gun. Are you going to try to dodge out of the way? Are you going to try to...
all I could try and do is dodge.
All right. So roll me 2d6s, Jonathan, and I'll do some math in my head.
Okay.
In the meantime, Michael, go ahead and roll your attack roll for the gun.
That is a 27.
Okay. Roll me 2d6s.
Double 2.
Double 2? All right. He will fire the gun, and where are you aiming?
Center mass right in the chest.
Center of mass right into the chest. Jonathan, what happens when he fires the gun and hits you? Center of mass right in the chest.
Being a storyteller, he realizes what's about to happen and knows he needs to embellish it a little bit. So as the bullet comes in, the colors will swirl around it and turn red as it comes closer and closer to him and hits him in the middle of the chest. And he tries to speak up until the moment that he gets hit, at which point he falls back and the illusion just shatters.
So I think he would kind of rush over to the man that he just shot.
Yeah.
And, while he's still holding his gun and he's still trained on him, but he'll kind of go around and kind of sit on top of him and check for life, for vitals.
Jonathan, what does he find when he checks for vitals?
Whenever he checks for vitals, this is a very old, just ancient man, and the bones and skin are just starting to turn to dust very, very quickly at this point, almost as if he was held together entirely by magic.
Okay. And so he starts to fade into dust?
I would say that you probably have time to talk to him a little bit before he goes, but he's not going to talk unless spoken to.
I see. So basically Michael did a Thanos snap.
Yeah.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Mr. Brightwood, I don't feel so good.
So he'll kind of get closer and is like, how do I put it back? How do I fix this?
You tell his story. Dust.
I hate magic. And he's gonna run over to Vienno and check for vitals.
Roll me a first aid, please.
14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel a pulse.
Oh.
Vienno's was hit by this approximately, it's probably been about 10 seconds. 10 seconds since he dropped to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
He's going to run and pick up Felix's wand and bring it back over to Felix and just kind of shove it in his hand and start do the magic, do the thing.
Felix is stunned.
Felix is stunned. Yeah.
I don't think he knows what stupefy is. He's just kind of
Felix
grabbing
is
his
just
shirt
not
and shaking him.
reacting. Felix is not reacting. He's completely out of it.
Yeah, he's stunned.
So everybody who is entranced would not be anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that at this point Celeste will break out of the trance.
Oh, okay.
All right. Take a moment. Assess what's going on.
Yeah, you'll assess what's happening. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna grab Michael by the shirt, lift him off his feet if she has to. Do the fucking magic and save him. Put aside your fear and do it.
What's magic? I'm
You
a
can-
muggle, I can't do this.
You used the ring before. To better extent than we can use the only chance, and you have to do it now.
30 seconds or past.
Do it.
The ring. Of course. Stupid. and then he's gonna grab the ring. He's not used to using magic, so he didn't think of that immediately. And he's gonna try and focus on the ring.
Roll a use magic item.
Okay.
As a buckle, that's not good.
What'd you get?
Double sixes.
Oh my god!
The dice
Oh
god.
my god!
I swear.
Michael!
Holy shit!
Oh my god! Our Messiah is here.
Michael
How
will win.
He's the main character!
Second time in a row where double sixes has saved somebody's life.
Oh my gosh!
I'm
So
not
Michael,
dead.
I rolled 2 double ones this session. I was doomed, dang it.
It was just all planned out. You had to take the one. To
Michael, out of character with the double 6, you have full control of deciding to turn back time up to 24 hours. Up to 24 hours. How far back in time do you want to go back and redo?
I think he's going to go back to when they first pull up into the house, up to the house.
Okay. So, this is going to be interesting. Redo. Now, the only person who remembers what just happened is Michael. Everyone else, you don't know anything that just happened. So, you guys are now pulling up to the house. Reset.
All right,
This
let's go meet this guy.
I think, like, as like he kind of like comes to, because I don't think he's used to it. He's just gonna be like, oh.
Michael, what's wrong?
What?
Holy
Vienna is
shit.
a little protective of his owl. Just sudden movement.
Whoa, hand movement.
Michael, what's wrong?
What time is it?
Well, I checked the clock. Well, we just got to the house. It's like 12:15.
Holy shit! It worked.
What worked? What worked?
Question: do I still have the ring, or is it back on Felix's? Like, what?
Yeah,
What's the
I think it
continuity?
would be. Yeah.
The continuity is that the ring is back on his wand. You don't have the ring
I think
anymore.
he would have
It's back
been
on his
like
wand.
clutching his fist.
Yeah,
'cause that's
he
how
would have been
felt.
clutching his
and then
fist.
he like opens it. He's like, I used
Oh,
I used the ring.
Wait, you turned back time?
what's happened?
We went in there, and there's this old guy. Vienna knew him. Some storyteller from his past.
Hold on.
Out of character, if this at all matters to Michael, you did go back an hour. You feel like if you really wanted to, something in your gut made it feel like you could have turned the clock back 24 hours. Just you have that knowledge somehow.
We went up there. There was an old man. Vienna knew him from his past. Some storyteller, and I don't know. He just started telling these stories, and Felix, you didn't believe him, and you like left, and then the old man started telling the story, and I don't know. It was just so enthralling, and the next thing I knew, I just kind of snapped out of whatever had just happened, and Vienna, you were like a raisin, like dried up. There was I don't know how to explain these things.
Like,
But he's the
Chloe?
one who killed the girl.
Are you sure about this?
Yes, from
well,
the dehydration.
considering we know he can turn back time better than all of us, I'm gonna believe him.
Yeah, I believe him too. Michael, I trust you. But just in case, Felix is going to use divination.
I trust you. I'm gonna
That's the
divinate
double
it.
check it.
Michael's gonna get out of the car and just kind of like go on his hands and knees and just throw up because he wasn't used to that.
Yeah, Felix is going to try and divine if what he said is true.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna go sit outside with Michael and just like pat his back.
6 and a 5, so that was that's actually a 20 total.
20 total? 20 total. What you're going to find is that you'll start to see images in your head of the neon lights, and you're going to actually see Vienno, and he looks very enthralled, as if he's watching some sort of like really engrossing movie. And then you see his body jolt as this big blue, sky blue sphere comes out of his body, and he falls over and collapses, shriveled up like a raisin. And this ball of light moves closer towards some man that you can't see his face, but with like very old looking hands being absorbed towards him. And that's the vision that goes into your that's the vision that you see.
Okay, Michael's telling the truth. I just confirmed it.
But you trusted him.
We just try to think of who it is now, because who it is.
Well, we
But-
have didn't we get a name for the? We got a name from Scythe.
Mr.
Andrew Puka.
Andrew Puka.
Mr. Puka? Is there?
And apparently he can eat people's souls.
In Vienna, he stole your soul.
Okay, he never did that before. None of the
But
kids,
he didn't
none
do
of
it
the kids
before.
that listened to his
Wait.
stories before died.
Well, Vienna, sometimes people change.
I guess so.
So what are we going to go and do about this?
How,
We can't let him steal our souls again.
how far did you come back?
What? Oh. What time is it? It doesn't matter. It was
It's about 12:18 now.
about an hour, I guess.
An hour?
You could come back an entire hour?
I mean, yeah, that was just I just thought about the time. From what I felt like, it could have been more. If I don't know, I didn't know what I was doing. I was panicking.
More than an
It's all right.
Okay. We're just taking
Wow.
a notebook and writing down.
All right. I think
Um,
what we should do now is take care of Mr. Puka.
The thing is, we have to be fast, so because apparently letting him talk is bad. So we have to be
Yeah.
fast.
I think we just need to straight up capture this guy because
I mean,
I shot.
I'm just gonna say it. I don't think we can risk taking him in alive.
well,
If he even speaks, he's a threat, as
Well-
far as we know.
can we wait, are you saying we have to kill him?
Well,
I
somebody
already
already had to. And again, like, if he can just steal people's souls through telling a story, I mean, that's dangerous. Do you think we could really go in there and him not capture us again?
I'm not sure I'm comfortable just killing a person.
He just killed Vienna.
I know that, but
Look, I'm only saying it because I think we wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. If he can just talk to us and control and steal our souls, we have to be safe.
While you're having this conversation, I'm going to say that Mr. Puka, you will notice that there's a car parked in your driveway, or next to your house, rather, that wasn't there before, just as an FYI. And whoever just parked there, they just seem to be having a conversation for whatever reason. I don't think from where you're at, you can't recognize any of them.
It's a very good time to make tea.
All right, we're going to go make some tea. I love how nobody questioned that this man just happened to already have some finger food
Oh, like-
all ready to
That's the
go.
thing. I was super
Already-
suspicious, but Celeste was just keeping her mouth shut.
Oh, look, guests!
I
I
mean,
just so
Felix
happen
was
to
a
have
bit-
made all these finger sandwiches right now.
Felix just assumed he made that stuff for himself, but what suspicious
yes.
of him almost immediately after he told the first story.
I prefer making sandwiches and cutting them into little tiny pieces before I eat it.
I was gonna say,
all by myself.
Celeste should have said something because nobody prepares finger food unless they're expecting guests.
Oh, boy.
Straight up, like pure etiquette protocol. Too much time.
Oh my.
Vito was too excited to meet a friend.
All right. Felix just says, "Okay, look. I get that we may not be able to contain him, but can't we like muzzle him or something? Like, I'm not comfortable killing a person."
I mean, we can try, but we need a backup just in case some of it we get caught.
I think he was using his hands to do it as well.
So you think if we get his hands, we can stop him? Maybe.
Like maybe if we disable his use of hands from now on, like maybe we could.
Can I just point out, when I shot him, he kind of turned to dust. Is that... If I shoot you, do you turn to dust?
No.
We point that to me or to them?
Any of the wizards, it's just kind of like, you guys?
No.
No.
He didn't turn to dust.
So, what the hell is he?
Would we know anything about this?
Roll a magical beast.
Thank you.
Roll a magical
One of the
beast.
few things I'm really good at.
Anyone who wants to, right.
Third double sixes of the night!
Okay.
I got a 17, but
Okay.
hers.
So Jonathan, tell us what somebody with a 17 would know, which is really high, and tell us everything as much as possible about your creature for Celeste, who got a critical success.
Okay.
So
what a person who got a 17 would know is that this is a kind of magical creature that you've heard about in Irish mythology, where they're an albino creature that goes around and they control kind of the luck of a creature, is what it says in mythology. For somebody who got a natural 20, they would know that this is an actual creature that existed and tended to prey upon bards, kings, anybody with an amazing story, who would try and take their soul energies in order to craft them into stories.
can you also tell her about the King Arthur thing?
Oh yeah, King Arthur. Yeah, he was killed by a particular puka, who then created the story of King Arthur from there.
Oh, shit. That's cool.
Okay. We're dealing with a puka. And no, that's not just his name.
Michael's
I
like,
was just about to ask that.
They're albino creatures. They prey on bards and storytellers, steal their souls in order to craft them into stories. King Arthur got killed by one of them and used his soul to create the story of King Arthur.
Huh.
Wait,
Yes,
he was
Michael,
real?
King Arthur's real.
And Merlin is actually one of the most famous wizards of all time.
Yes, he was quite interesting. Either way, I could always.
From our knowledge, do we know of any way to disable them or to prevent them from stealing souls?
The hand idea was pretty much spot on. They use their hands to craft the illusions.
Yeah.
The illusions are what really grab them in. The voice is what's used to kind of carry the effect.
All right, I think if we just lock up his hands and prevent him from casting illusions, we should be okay. We don't have to kill him.
Okay. Do you have a petrifying spell?
I do have Stupefy.
And I can. Well, let's be honest. I could probably hold him in place pretty well.
Yeah, I'll just Stupefy him. Nothing could go wrong there.
Wait, what is Stupefy?
It's a stunning spell. It basically knocks him out and prevents him from moving or anything.
I wouldn't make that our first choice.
Look, Michael, it'll be okay. I'll just burst in and cast Stupefy on him.
I mean, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but you tried that last time.
Oh, really?
How'd it go?
I had to rewind time to save Vienno. How do you think?
Well, how about Felix tries to stupefy him, but I still rush in anyways and I try to grapple him and hold his arms down because I'm super fast and super strong.
All right.
That's why we have
Just knock on the door, and when he answers the door, you just grab him.
And
You can
I'll
try
try
that
and
too.
Stupefy him.
We can try that. Just
Alright.
don't hit me. I'm still susceptible to magic.
I'll make sure to
Oh,
just.
here we go.
Alright, we approach the door.
As you guys begin to approach the door, before you even get there, the door starts to open. And he starts to lean out and goes, "Hello, how are you all doing?"
Once he comes out fully enough, Felix is going to cast Stupefy.
All right, attempt to cast it. Let's see how this goes.
Much better.
Okay.
No, round 2.
That is
It's so funny.
that's an 18.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that I'll give Mr. Puka a chance to dodge. So roll me 2 d6s, Mr. Puka.
Double 4.
Double 4. All right. Unfortunately, that will not be enough. So as soon as you're like, "Hey everyone, I'm just trying to invite some guests over," these random people that you've never seen before just goes on, stuns this poor old man who had beautiful finger food for you.
He
All right,
drops
so
the
now
tea
he's
to the
stunned.
ground that he was holding in his other hand. It shatters and it spills underneath the door frame.
Yes, it shatters on the door frame and he's stunned. What do you do?
Well, it worked.
Well, what do you know? I'm still gonna go up and kill him. Michael, do you have handcuffs?
But yes, of course.
Of course he has.
Oh, didn't know you always had them on you. I'll go and look him up.
Okay.
Celeste, she does this all the time.
Michael's just confused, like, why wouldn't I have handcuffs?
So you cuff him, and you know that the stun will wear off on Mr. Puka eventually.
Yeah.
So what will you do?
I'm gonna keep a firm hold on him to make sure he can't move once the stun wears off.
I'm going to Felix. Can we put a gag him with something?
Let's do it in the car, please.
Yeah.
So we don't walk him down the street with.
Yeah.
I was going to say, let's make sure nobody sees us because it kind of looks like we're kidnapping an old man.
Yeah. Let's get him in the car and bring him back to HQ.
Yes.
So
I like to
Maybe
imagine
it-
there's the Incredibles kid with the gum on his face.
Oh, we're going in a straight jacket and a mouth guard like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Let's do this.
When, as you are putting Mr. Puka into the car, you're going to hear the voice of a older woman call out, "Michael?"
He'll turn around.
You'll turn around and across, over on the other house next door, which was the Petrov's house, you see your mother there by her car.
Damn it!
Michael, what are you doing here?
Secure him, and he's gonna walk up. Mother, it's been not too long, actually. Work.
I'm surprised you're here, she says. She goes over to you and she gives you a hug.
Yeah.
I've been trying to call you for the last hour because I was trying to let you know about what happened to Chloe Petrov.
I heard, Mother. It's terrible business. That's actually why I'm here. The agency I work for, it's investigating. It investigated the murder. It turns out the neighbor, Mr. Puka, was involved. Mother, this is an active investigation, though, so please. We'll let the family know soon, but you know how it is.
Of course, I won't say anything to them. I just came here just to give them my condolences. How are you holding up with all of this?
It's a bit of a shock, honestly. Though the family that she's leaving behind, it's a real tragedy.
She, takes her hand and she puts it on your cheek And she says, I'm hoping that, I don't know how much you've kept in touch, but I hope you find time during your busy job to mourn. I know that you've had problems with that in the past.
I will. Christmas is coming up, so maybe I can visit the family then and visit the graveside once.
I was thinking of going to see your father on Christmas Day during visitation. You're definitely welcome to come with if you'd like. I'm sure he would love to see you.
Yeah, I'd definitely love to go. How is he holding up?
Well, he's stable. That's good. This time of year, I'm sure, is very difficult for him, so I know he would appreciate seeing some familiar faces around this time.
Of course. I'll definitely be sure to come up. We can do everything. Grab some dinner, go up and see Dad, pay my respects.
She then looks towards the house, and she says, "Well, let me know if you need anything. It's good to see you, Michael."
It's really good to see you. I'll keep in touch.
She'll lean in and she'll give you a kiss.
Yeah, he'll accept it and then embrace her one more time before heading back.
Be safe. Tell your friends I said Merry Christmas.
I will. You be safe too, Mom. Sure. He'll go back to the car. Right. Is the prisoner...
Yeah,
Good?
he's secure. Are you okay?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Do you know her?
I do. It's my mother.
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
it makes sense if you knew her.
Yeah, because if you
Oh,
knew a
Chloe.
girl here, yeah, this would be your hometown.
Yep. Can we go now?
Yes,
Yeah,
go.
sure. Let's go.
While you guys are leaving, eventually Mr. Puka will start to break out of the stun. What happens when he breaks out of the stun?
Well, they said they were
Mr.
gagging
Puka.
him, right?
Oh, did he gag him?
We gagged him in the car.
All right. So, Mr. Puka, you've been you're able to watch what's happening while you're stunned, so it's not like you're unconscious. So you're aware of everything that's happening. So you come out of your stun, you're gagged. I don't know if you do anything or make a noise.
I mean, he kind of sits up as best he can,
And that just goes with
looks
it.
at them,
Okay.
and kind of just slumps like he had been defeated at some kind of game of cat and mouse. You guys didn't even know what was going on.
How did they know? How did they know?
Would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids.
Their stupid ring too,
And that stupid ring.
I could have sworn I could have told this story a lot better.
I like it.
All right, and you guys will start to head back.
I was thinking of when he would be put into prison.
Yeah. Yes. You would probably want to have a moment
Yeah.
with Mr. Puka.
I would actually
Okay.
go to his cell.
Okay.
Most likely,
So-
and when he's there, look around, make sure that we are alone, and then just sit in front of him and just start telling the story.
Oh. So Mr. Puka you're in what they call the circle. The circle is where they basically lock up the threats to society that they found that they decided not to execute. So fortunately for you, you have not turned to dust yet, fortunately. And I guess as a precaution, they keep your hands bound, and I don't know if they continuously keep you gagged. I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
But somehow they detain you, and sure, Vienna will come. He's got a owl on his shoulder. And you will sit down and go ahead.
What I imagine is it would be like a soundproof room that you could speak into, but you couldn't hear back out.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You could speak into, but he can't speak out.
Yeah, a one-way microphone system or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Vienna, you will plop down in front of him to speak to him. What do you say?
I promised you a story. Long time ago. I guess this is the best. This is the only way I can really tell you it now. There's a story about a guy who learned about existence of magic. And basically he starts to tell him his own how he learned about magic. His time at Dormström and his friend he made during his one earlier friend who he still keeps in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
And tells about the story of how one time he went to meet his friend and there was an incident.
Why don't you tell us the story of the incident, Vienna?
I went to visit a friend. He promised me to help me get one of my first inventions to be patented. I went to England and first time went to the Ministry of Magic in there. I met, we talked about how our lives were, about her family, and she told me how the best way I could impress the people I was to present my inventions to. It didn't go so well. They didn't like my inventions. They saw them as disgusting, as being tainted by what I did. But things didn't go, went from bad to even worse. Ministry was attacked. Death Eaters came. Me and my friend were locked up, hoping we were safe, but one of the Death Eaters came in. Thanks to my inventions, we were, for the most part, safe. It couldn't see us, but we could see it. But it did hear us. Thanks to my friend's inventions, we managed to knock out the Death Eater. I grabbed the Death Eater's wand and kept it safe for it not to use its magic again. We decided to leave the room. We saw one of the people my friend knew about from the ministry. He helped us to get another safer place, but when I was about to use my invention to protect us, he was about to kill us. He was about to kill my friend. Thankfully, the luck was on our side. We managed to evade the attack, and for someone else, one of the other people she knew, to come and stop him. He was being controlled by the Death Eaters. This new friend helped me and my friend to escape the ministry. It was chaos, but thankfully we survived. We managed to go to my friend's place and survived the attack on the ministry that happened. We survived the 1st of August, 1997. After that he was quiet for a little while, stand up, and before he leaves he turns to him and says, "I'll come again to tell you another story at another time."
Can he read lips?
I don't think he really can, but he could try at least.
You can try.
So
What do you try to say, Mr. Puka?
he tries to say, "That was a good story. Next time?"
You can get the gist of what he just asked,
Yeah.
or what he said. Next time?
Next time. He smiles a little bit. And
He smiles back.
And thus, Professor X will leave Magneto in his cell. Next time? Next time. Maybe they'll play a little chess next time. I don't know. All right, so that's how cool. Very good scene with Vienno. Yay! I wanted to have more Vienno 11 in this one. Cool.